Hello, hello, hello. So, I need to share with you what is going on. We have the world, as they like to say it, at the brink. But the question is, of course, at the brink of what? So, the other day I had a thought, which is the reason we misunderstand reality is we look at it from the wrong perspective. In other words, we're looking at reality from the outside in. But really you need to look at it from the inside out. Imagine you have two people. One person is a doctor. The other person, he's, I don't know, like somebody as brilliant as, who's that guy who painted the Mona Lisa? His name slips my mind. But as brilliant as this guy, or even a Rembrandt, they have an amazing ability to see. I mean, if you've ever seen Rembrandt's, beautiful, unbelievable. But the thing is, the Rembrandt doesn't know what's happening on the inside of the body. So he can paint the body better than the doctor ever can. But he has no idea what a heart attack is. He has no idea how to put in a stent. So we're looking at the world from the outside perspective. We have our own egos, our desires, it's spiritual or sexual drive, our different desires, and we're looking at the world. But you can't understand, just like you can't understand a person by looking at the outside, certainly you can't heal him. You have to look at the inside. You have to know what's happening on the inside. The outside is nothing compared to the inside. So once you get into the inside, into the soul of the universe, you understand exactly what's happening. And ultimately what's happening is, as a famous prophecy in the book of Daniel, that King Nebuchadnezzar saw a statue. The head was of gold, the arms were of silver, the torso was copper or brass, and the legs were of iron. Some of the toes were iron, and some of them were clay or hardened dirt. And a stone came and it smashed the statue, and the statue turned to dust. And a wind came and it blew away the dust, and the stone turned into a mountain. And in the book of Daniel, which very accurately prophesies the coming of Mashiach, which actually, according to some opinions, was the year 1991, it speaks about this amazing concept, which is that, and remarkably, remember, this was 2,500 years ago. Copies are still from that time. And we now have lived through that prophecy, which is that there would be the kingdom of Babylonia, the kingdom of Persia, the kingdom of Greece, Alexander the Great, and the kingdom of Rome, and eventually a little tussle of power with the Arabs. And then the statue. What is the statue? Why are they all these kingdoms, statues? Because what did all these kingdoms want? Now, if you think of a kingdom, an empire, they're basically the same thing in different clothing. What do they want? They want power and money. That's all that they want. So a statue looks very good on the outside, but it's hollow on the inside. It's dust. It has nothing. But what is truly valuable? Love and peace. And so for the world, for the inner world, because we all want love and peace. But the thing is that those that are jealous of love and peace, they bully and they shame. And then eventually we're motivated not. It's a funny thing. Most people, the Arabs are a good example. Forgive me if you're an Arab, but I'm using you as an example because you're a very good example for this. Maybe you can learn. In fact, I got this from a Pakistan Muslim man, and he's actually living in an Arab country. And he said that they have a prophecy. I don't know who has a prophecy that when the desert dwellers build skyscrapers, the Messiah is coming. And then he had this whole chart he showed me of all these skyscrapers. So what the heck are the Arabs building skyscrapers in deserts? In fact, these are empty skyscrapers. And then if you think about it, why does Saudi Arabia, which is in a way the essence of the Arabs, hit the Twin Towers? If I had to hit a symbol of America, okay, I understand, let's say the Pentagon, even that's a bit weird. White House, okay, that's a symbol. Maybe the Statue of Liberty, but why the Twin Towers? What's the big deal? The answer is that in their infantile mind, what makes America great is size. And so therefore they have to be greater. In other words, And this is something that a lot of people don't get about America, and they don't get about the Jews. The Jews and America are not great because of what they do. They're great because of what they don't do. In other words, the greatness of America is nothing physical. It's something spiritual. The greatness of the Jewish people is not a physical thing, it's a spiritual thing. It is love. It is peace. It's the desire for others to have a good life. And this, my friends, the fall of the bizarre empire quest and the rise of what is truly significant, love and peace, is behind everything that's happening, because you have these old mentalities, whether it's Iran, whether it's Russia, whether it's Turkey, whether it's the Muslims with their caliphate, the dream of the Ummah, one world under. They don't get one thing, that the world doesn't get better through your little narcissistic, even if you had the ability, which I don't see in a time of nuclear weapons, how anybody has the ability to take out any country. Because maybe once upon a time you had more swords, you could kill enough people. But today, anybody can wipe you out. So the whole notion of being able to take over other countries, it just doesn't exist. It's not possible. So all that can happen is that the world will come to the realization, which I believe it is, that we all have to live in unity and harmony.